Good day. You are welcome to another exciting journey, another exciting topic, another exciting day for part of the issues and challenges and things you need to do to have an engaging content and, of course, be able to inspire, motivate, and, of course, close deals and have a very rewarding professional brand, online and offline, as the case may be. And today we are addressing direct message strategies for achieving consistent contacting and non-zero DMs. I remain your one and only Dr. Ishioma Elora Ona, also known as Dr. Ish. And I'm so excited already just thinking about how we are going to have a very fun time discussing about this topic. So, moving on. A strategic approach to reaching out and building relationships is another description or explanation to call DM strategy. Now, when you are writing content, we have what we call inbound strategy and outbound strategy. Inbound strategy is when your content attracts people to, that's what you write, okay, on social media, attracts people to your brand, attracts them to find out, make inquiries about your services or your products, or if you're ready for a job, gigs, whatever it may be. Inbound strategy is can be excellently done well if you follow it according to its necessary principles. But we're not talking about that for now. We are talking about, like focusing more on outbound strategy, also known as DM strategy, which is basically you going out to meet the client, unlike inbound where the client comes to meet you or are attracted to your content. In this case, you're not waiting for them to be attracted to your content, you're going right out there to meet them. So why do you need a warm inbox message, and how can it be the key to unlocking new opportunities? On social media now, the fact of the matter is that in relating with people, you need to be able to have that emotional connection, because relationships is all about human to human. I remember I mentioned it before, human to human, because this is the best way to connect. Once the emotional factor is in your content, this is the best way to connect with your audience. You cannot connect with them without that emotional, deep connection in relating with them. And as I advise, it's really not so nice to just jump straight into anyone's inbox to start discussing business and being all salesy to sell your services or products. You must develop a relationship first before you start selling your products. So your inbox can be a powerful tool for building relationships and unlocking new opportunities, but it requires a strategic approach to reaching out and nurturing those relationships. The key points here are: one, a warm inbox message can be the key to unlocking new opportunities. I didn't say cold inbox, I mentioned warm. Cold is speaking to somebody you have no connection whatsoever with. You may be connected on social media, but there's no emotional connection between both of you. You probably have not had any discussion, or even if you had, it may be very bland and just off. But warm means that there's some certain level of communication that has been happening between both of you. So to move from cold to warm, in some cases, can take a day, 24 hours, it can take 2 days, it can take 7 days, it can take 1 week, it can take months, it can even take years. It just depends on the person that you're speaking with and how they perceive you. A strategic approach to reaching out and nurturing relationships is required, and your inbox can be a powerful tool for building relationships and growing your business. Okay, because some people they just don't have enough time to probably send you an inbox, or they're being cautious and all that. So it's not such a bad idea if you take the initiative to reach out to your leads or prospective clients, whatever category they are in, and first of all, start a conversation, build a conversation, be interested in their posts, be interested in their lives, be ready to give them value, and then you can start making that important and crucial conversation. The takeaway here is to identify your goals and objectives for reaching out to prospective clients and collaborators. Develop a strategic approach to crafting and sending warm inbox messages. So you just don't send any kind of message, right? So what are the tips and strategies for getting you noticed? You have to know how to write a message that grabs attention and starts a conversation. So crafting a warm inbox message requires a thoughtful and strategic approach. You want to grab the reader's attention, start a conversation, and then build a relationship. The key points once again are to start with a personalized greeting and address the person by name. So this case, it depends on the culture. It depends on the relationship. How, you have to look at age factor here. If they're older than you or if you are older than them, you have to look at their titles. If they're doctor, chief, professor, Mr., Mrs., you really need to be very careful here because culture plays a big factor here. And of course, professionalism as well. You need to also be very careful in terms of tribe, in terms of global recognition. You know, there are just so many factors here, but just to be on the safe side, most times it's better to just be really polite by saying, dear sir or dear ma, when you are relating with them. You know, for me, that's what I'd do. You know, just some people are not just cool with first name basis. So culture too is also very important. So use a clear and concise subject line that grabs attention. Keep the message brief and focus on the main topic. Don't deviate from the main topic. Don't start asking, how is your family? How is your job? Have you eaten today? How was your night? There are some certain set of people that are not going to like that kind of question. You need to have gained a certain level of relationship with them before you start asking such personal questions. So keep it strictly professional, get straight to the point. But of course, you can also ask other people to read the messages before you send them and use a friendly and approachable tone. Don't write in capital letters. Don't drop a commanding tone like they owe you something. Don't be entitled. And like I said, be polite. The takeaway here is to use a personalized greeting and address the person by name. Keep the message brief and focus on the main topic and use a friendly and approachable tone. An example here is instead of sending a generic message that starts with dear sir, madam, it depends. Like I said, you can use dear sir, madam, but depends on the culture. Start with a personalized greeting that addresses the person by name, such as hi Emily. Please note, it depends on the culture. It depends on the age. It depends on the platform. It depends on age. It depends on the gender. So in as much as you don't need to send generic messages all the time, you have to apply some level of wisdom here. Now, how to nurture relationships and turn inbox conversations into clients. Strategies for building trust, providing value, and asking for the business. So, when nurturing relationships and turning conversations into opportunities, it requires a thoughtful and strategic approach. So, you want to build trust, you want to provide value, and you want to ask for the business. Remember, I always talk about what they call the KLT factor. Before any client buys from you, they have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you. It's a process. They will not just know you and trust you immediately. They have to like you. All right. And before they like you, they have to get to know you first. So your content and your messages and how you engage with them prior to jumping into their DM is what will help them determine if they actually do want to have a relationship with you. Of course, they will have to first of all perceive the kind of person you are. If your objectives, your values, and your vision and your character is aligned with theirs. Okay. So the key points here are to respond promptly to messages and keep the conversation going, provide value and insights that are relevant to the person's interests and needs. When you enter the inbox, please, it's not just about me, 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 me. It should also be about them. When you approach them, it should be about the value you want to give them. And of course, don't sound salesy. Don't ram it down their throat. Don't type in capital letters. Don't shout down at them and be polite. Okay. And then if you hear a no, you don't need to get all personal, about it. Build trust by being authentic, transparent, and consistent. So if they don't think they are being authentic and transparent, you're definitely not going to get a good response. And then ask for the business by making a clear and compelling offer. It has to be clear and it has to be compelling. It has to appeal to their emotion. The takeaways here are to respond promptly to messages and keep the conversation going, provide value and insights that are relevant to the person's interests and needs, and build trust by being authentic, transparent, and consistent. Emphasis on authentic, transparent, and consistent. An example here is if you're a freelance writer, you could provide value by sharing a relevant article or resource and then ask for the business by offering, a similar article for the person's company. But like I said, the relationship has to have grown from cold to warm before you start making requests like this. So here there's real life examples of inbox conversations that turned into clients and how to use these examples as inspiration for your own inbox strategy. Here are some real life examples. So the key points to note in these examples are, just take your time and read, study them, is to use a personalized greeting and address the person by name. Of course, like I say, depending on the culture, depending on the tribe, depending on the gender, depending on so many factors, but just apply wisdom. Keep the message brief and focus on the main topic. Use a friendly and approachable tone. Provide value and insights that are relevant to the person's interests and needs. Build trust by being authentic, transparent, and consistent. Then you can now ask for the business by making a clear and compelling offer. Use these examples as inspiration for your inbox strategy. Experiment with different approaches and see what works best for you. Continuously improve and refine your inbox strategy over time. Practice makes better. The more you do it, the better you become, the better you understand how to relate with different kinds of people. The way to analyze your clients is not a one size fits all. People have different temperaments, different mannerisms, different dispositions to life, different perceptions, and different way they handle pressure, the way they handle people trying to sell things to them. So you need to really be wise and cautious here. And the safest way is to apply caution by being polite and being respectful, when you get into their DM. And of course, before you get into their DM, try to get noticed by engaging with their posts, with their content, putting polite and really value packed comments to show them that you not only see them, you hear them and you understand them. Look for things that resonate, that are in common between you and them, and that can be the fertile ground for you to start building relationship from a cold DM to a warm DM. And now it's your turn. Use the assignment and worksheet below to develop your own inbox strategy and start turning conversations into opportunities. So write a warm inbox message to a prospective client or collaborator. Share the message with a friend or accountability partner and ask for feedback. Refine the message based on the feedback and send it to the prospective client or collaborator. So definitely you can also apply the worksheet. And as usual, please feel free to reach out to me on any of my email or through LinkedIn DM, and I'll be happy to help you in case you need me to explain further. So I hope you got something interesting here. I hope you learned something new. Thank you very much, and I'll be seeing you in the next class.